What's
we
up?
just
What's
getting straight
up?
to it. We just getting straight to it today.
All right. So, what's up, y'all? How's everyone doing?
Good. You're talking to
Good,
us. You're
man.
talking to.
Not yet. I mean, either or
Don't
works. The audience when they listen to it
Studio
later.
audience.
Exactly. So today we have a special guest by the name of Scott Fowler. Scott, how's it going, man?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm having a
All right.
blast doing these things, man. It's
Thank
great.
you for coming
Yeah,
on.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks a lot. So what's it called? So first things first. This one's gonna be kind of obvious, like for you and what you're petitioning for. So we're the Chillin with Villains podcast, right? So everyone has a villain name. So
We already know what your
I'm
one's
Clown
gonna be,
Prince, right? Right. So exactly. I was like, I'm Clown Prince. We have Ariel here, who's Ozymandias. Mark is Zoom.
Yep.
So I was gonna do either before or after the podcast. You got to pick a villain name for the show, but I think that's already given.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That one's cut and dry, man.
Guys,
Riddler.
already has that
we
shit
have.
up.
Do you call
we
me
have-
Ed? Do you call me Nick? Do you call me Riddler?
Oh,
I don't
I thought it was. I thought you're petitioning to be Slipknot in the DCEU, or that job's already taken.
Not
my
Slipknot.
God.
Nobody wants that job.
Oh man. Honestly,
All right, my bad. That was boo. My bad. Nah,
That's
my
fun.
guy Scott here wants to be the DCEU Riddler.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So this is apart from. Is it Paul Dano who's playing?
Yeah, that's its own thing.
That's his own.
And
thing.
then there's a DCEU
So
Riddler
he
that
wants
needs
be
to be
the
cast.
main line,
He wants to be the main line. Yes, sir.
That's what you're petitioning.
Yeah, man.
for campaign.
And that's no disrespect to Paul Dano, who's obviously a freaking fabulous actor.
Yeah, no, of course. Nah, that was
Yeah,
that
man.
was never a concern. But and it's funny now because I'm sure you to date with everything that's going on with the DCEU news and Keaton coming back for Batman, and so right now is a perfect time actually for someone like you who wants to really get this role. Like there's a multiverse, so there could be a multitude of Riddlers out there.
Right.
It's like why not be one of them, right?
Why not be one of them? That's you train the thoughts right along with mine, man. Like it.
Exactly, man. It's like so what kind of got you like into the Riddler role? Like why the Riddler specifically?
So it all started on Twitter, man. I was having a conversation
Power
with
of
a girl
social
that
media.
I started dating. She was asking me. That's always an interesting conversation to have with somebody. Yeah, I'm trying to be the Riddler in the Batman movies. Like, I look at you like,
yeah, they're like,
it's
wait,
a special kind of person to appreciate that.
right? Yeah, of course.
Hey.
So I was telling her,
She's like, the man of my dreams.
yeah, buddy. That's what that response you would want. But yeah, no, she's cool. She's totally supportive of it. But I was telling her that like it all started on Twitter, man. Like I was always an Instagram guy. I was making a kind of a mark over there, doing the whole acting thing and promoting my career over there. But I came over to after I did Army of the Dead, which is obviously another Zack Snyder movie.
Yes.
I started really
Shout out Zach.
getting into his work and just in awe of how the visions that he has, how much of a visionary director he is, and so I got behind the Snyder Cut movement thing, and I was checking out the everybody posting about that, and I was blown away by that, and I just made a post
Crazy, right?
talking about I made a post
Movement.
talking
Crazy
about
movement.
how it is, was, always will be.
Yep.
And I made a post talking about how I was behind it 100% too, and all of a sudden like 10 people responded and said, well, you did Army of the Dead. Why don't you try to work with Zach again?
Be like, hey Zach.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and
Riddler. None of my business though, but that's on you.
yeah. So they said, who would you be in there? And I said, that's a good question. What do you guys think? And like every one of them responded, the Riddler. You look like the Riddler. You sound like the Riddler. So I took it and ran with it, man.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
I think he's an underrated villain in his gallery. Like
for sure.
Can you imagine if he was in the Nolan movies, dude? His
Dude.
dialogue probably would have been insane. I feel like his
incredible, cerebral, man. He's
Yeah.
a cerebral dude.
And
Yeah.
Riddler is
and
Jigsaw in a sense.
Yeah,
yeah,
Think about
Yeah.
it.
right. Like thing, and that's why he's so underrated, is because like hand to hand, you
He's
know,
not-
Batman is not getting tested by anyone really,
He's
right?
washing him.
But the thing is, if you can't beat him physically, you beat him mentally. And I think the Riddler does such a good job of always being able to make him play these games that work his mind. Like he has to use his detective skills in order to solve these things.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so so Scott, the riddles that you pose, do you come up with them yourself?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's awesome.
Now there's a couple that I go to certain places and get some inspiration and stuff, obviously.
Right.
But yeah,
Of course.
I kind of piece them together myself. Yeah.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool, man.
I think the last one that I saw was what can you grab with your left hand but not with your right? Is that what it was? Or how
Hold in your right hand, but not in your left.
right.
Yeah.
I bet. Hold on. I still didn't get it.
You can wait. You
I
hold it in
still
your
didn't
right.
get it.
You hold
It's
it
a
in your right.
teaser, man. Brain teaser.
You hold it in your right.
I feel like it's easy too. I
It
feel
probably
like
Scissors?
right.
You can hold it in your right hand, but not in your left.
Right.
And hold your left hand in your left hand.
Oh my gosh.
You can hold your left
I
hand.
want you
in
to
your right hand.
spoil it.
Oh
You see?
my goodness.
That's
Yeah.
smooth. That's
Can
smooth.
this count as an audition tape then?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I'll be sending all these along, man.
Have
So
you
yeah.
done that though?
What's that?
Have you made an audition tape as the Riddler?
Just the stuff that I've been doing on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And that's,
And
I know for a fact there's people
Mhm.
watching those that are in pretty high places. So
that's exactly what I was gonna
fun.
say, man. Like nowadays, it's social media is where it's at. Something gets popping off, and people
People
take
see it.
notice. People
Yep.
take
Exactly.
notice.
Absolutely. I had a question.
Yeah.
So I know you said you're a big fan of Zach and stuff, and like, have you spoken to him about this, like, at all? Like, or like, is it more just like, oh, like, oh, like,
Well, I have a couple connections that I've made through acting that supposedly have dialogue with his people or him or whatever, and I'm pretty sure they've put the word in his ear. He's watching. He's watching.
Nice.
I don't have any kind of official confirmation on anything yet, but I wouldn't be at all surprised. Like, even if I just get a screen test for it, that'd be cool. And I'm just having fun doing it.
That's awesome.
just doing it and make
And that's
creating
the most
for you
important
guys.
thing.
That's my passion, man. Yeah, I like creating stuff. So
That's dope, man.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I wanted to ask him. So I know you're starting your acting career. You've gotten these roles, but you first started off, or at least you got well known due to wrestling, right? The WWE.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
Oh, there it
look at
is,
that,
SmackDown.
Live. Yo, I always used to hate the fact that SmackDown was recorded on Thursday, but they used to air it on Friday. I was just like, it's new to me, of course, but I'm like, these people are not there right now. Like,
yeah.
that's why I always like Monday Night Raw better. Like Monday night, I knew it was live. I'm like, yeah, you felt
Yeah.
all the impact.
You're like,
SmackDown was
these
a
people
different-
already know what happened.
Yeah. And SmackDown was
Yeah,
different.
exactly.
SmackDown
Nah,
was
it
different, though,
was.
because it's great to have a certain group. There was always a certain core fan base for each kind of I guess, conference of the WWE, to say the least.
Yeah, they
a
would
sense.
they would always do Raw versus SmackDown, but like,
Yeah, and all
this
that,
is the
yeah.
greatest thing ever.
Of course.
Right.
It
That was
literally-
exciting
So-
times. It always
Right.
is there. It's probably one of the better things that they do, really. Gets everybody pretty pumped up.
How long did you wrestle?
Man, I was in wrestling for like 14 years, so
Damn.
I picked up a lot of valuable experience through wrestling that I've been able to transition easier into acting, because there's a lot of similarities there.
Right. I tell everyone that,
You're like an entertainer. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
That's
you
what it is.
look
We're
at the
Western
obvious
entertainment.
ones. The Rock,
Yeah.
the guys that have easily crossed over into acting. Not that I'm on anywhere near that level, but like you get the picture. Like they
Yeah.
were in wrestling and they got their their start there and experience there, and we're able to translate that into acting.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I was actually talking this today with my girlfriend. She's like, "Wow, like all these wrestlers like transition like into acting," because like you said, Rock obviously big. John Cena's about to be in the
John
Suicide
Cena.
Squad,
Dave
and
Bautista.
he's doing
Dave Bautista, yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Batista.
you gotta tell your Dave Bautista story.
Oh, that's right. So first, Scott, have you had any matches or have you had interactions with Bautista when you were in WWE?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's one of my 6 degrees of Scott Fowler there. So yeah, Batista's part of that. He was the show that I did on SmackDown, or the match I did on SmackDown. He was on that show wrestling on it. So we were on the same show together.
Right.
And then to kind of come back all these years, that was in 2006. So to come back last year in Army of the Dead, like he wasn't on the set.
That's when he was popular too. 2006.
Oh man, yeah, he was on fire, man.
Power
He was
everyone.
dynamite. Yeah,
Batista bomb.
Bomb. Yeah, he was feuding with King Booker at the time, and he had a big main event segment. Yeah. So yeah, that was on that show. I mean, The Undertaker was on that show. Like being on the show with all these guys.
He just retired, right?
Yeah,
he did.
Just retired, man.
Yeah, wow. I posted on Twitter about that too. Like I don't have any, I can't claim to be like good friends with the guy or anything, but to be able to be in the ring with him and work out with him and be on the same show as a guy of that magnitude, it's stuff that people dream of doing, and I got to experience it.
There's a documentary too coming out. I just saw.
It's already out. Yeah, watch that. The Last Ride. Yeah.
I'm like, we just had the Bulls. We just had the Bulls with the Last Dance. Now we get the Undertaker with the Last Ride. I'm like, this is dope.
Last Dance was such a good.
It's incredible, man. Yeah, it's every bit as good as the Jordan documentary.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's if you get the WWE Network, or you do the free trial for a month or whatever, watch that. It's on it. Good stuff.
So you're still very, very big in like you still watch it like Raw, Friday, SmackDown, and all that, or like shift away from
not as much as I used to. I have kind of gotten out of it, but I still watch for some of the guys. It's kind of funny. A lot of the guys that I came up with are there now and doing stuff with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, an announcer, Corey Graves, one of their announcers. He's like he does a lot of their podcasts and stuff. And he was a guy I feuded with in independent wrestling for years, and now he's up there, and just watching him on TV. Sometimes it gets under my skin a little bit. I'm like, if I would have stayed with it, I would have done this. But if I would have stayed with it, I might not be here talking to you guys today because it drug me down some pretty crappy paths. So.
Yeah.
Right. So you see, man, like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's like, and not for nothing, but we were just talking about, you're an Army of the Dead. So although it may not be, a bigger role as you would want, like that's a start, and it only gets up from here. At least that's what I like to think.
That's it, man. Yeah. And one of my goals getting into acting, I love horror movies too. It's about as much as I love comic book.
You're playing the zombie, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I got to do all the special effects, makeup, and everything.
Oh my god! How long did that shit take?
How long did it take? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say 2 hours.
6 hours.
No, yeah,
2 hours. That's it.
Pretty much right in between, like three-ish hours.
Because
the first day I didn't have as much makeup. The second day took a lot longer. But it was like probably like 3 hours.
How long were you there for?
3 hours.
I did 2 days, but there were two really important days of the shooting. One was the last day, the final day of shooting.
Oh, that is an important ass day.
Yeah. It wasn't far from where you guys are, man. It was in Atlantic City.
So, wow.
Nice.
That's where I was for it, yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Jersey.
Shout out to Jersey.
Yeah, there you go.
But
one of the casinos there, I forget which one it was. The Showboat, maybe.
Showboat Casino, all right.
Yeah, probably was the Showboat.
I've only been there once, and I did enjoy it. I didn't gamble, But next time I go, I am definitely gambling.
Don't gamble, kids. Don't gamble.
Don't gamble, kids.
We're
No,
not promoting
I'll have money. I'll have
We're
money.
me and
saved up.
Ariel are not promoting gambling. That's all.
And Scott. Scott is
I can't.
No
get
one's vouching
behind
for
that.
me on this one. Oh, okay.
I can't get behind that.
No, but I mean, I was gonna put some money to the side. It's not like I was gonna just go in there like, hey,
here's my whole life. Here's my whole life
Tell
savings.
you is that I went to the casino in the hotel I was staying at. $20 left with 2 pennies, man.
That's it. And some people will put a quarter in and come out with $200, man, $500 something.
Nobody I know. Nobody I know of, Matt.
You know those things are as rigged as professional wrestling is, man.
Yeah.
You know that.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Listen, finding that
what
out.
hot take?
Yeah,
It's not. It's actually not.
not.
That's a cold take. Because the shit with Bret Hart, right? The Montreal
Screw job. Yeah.
Damn. Oh, so how does that? I don't know. Can you tell us like how it works? Like you get a say on who wins and who loses, right? Like as a wrestler.
I mean, some of the bigger guys probably do. Some of them have it written in their contract.
That's just like, hey, I want to win this one.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Can we get that straight?
Yeah, no, you're told exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it, pretty much. So
yeah, because I saw a comment where it was like, because the Undertaker was undefeated at WrestleMania, and then he lost to Brock, right?
Brock.
And like I saw mad people like bitching in the comments about it, and some guy was like, he had a say in that he wanted to lose there, right? And I would like that. I looked at it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but at the same
like,
time, look in the crowd when he loses. There's like people crying and all kinds of stuff.
It's literally an event.
Yes.
Wow. I was never a wrestling guy, so I really gotta like start looking into this shit. Like watching these old clips and stuff.
Go watch the stuff from the late '90s and the early 2000s.
Like
that's one of
WWF, World Wrestling Federation.
That WWF and in terms of the franchise as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with Vince McMahon, how was that? If you had to deal with him at all, if anything.
Yeah, I did. Every time I met him, he was cool. He was really, really cool guy. You hear horror stories about how he's, boss. He's just a typical,
I mean, he's a boss. Do you see his walk down to the arena, bro?
Right.
Walk down. Where do you think McGregor got that from? Where do you think Conor McGregor got that from? As Vince McMahon.
That's right. Yeah. But no, every time I met him, it was a handshake and brief conversation and on the way. Didn't have any bad interactions with him.
That's awesome. Oh, my story. I keep forgetting my Bautista
story. Yeah, what do you got?
Let's hear this. I hope it's worth the wait.
Oh God, this is so much pressure now.
So much pressure now. Just lie to hype it up. It's
so fine. I used to go to summer camp, right? And so we went to the pool. And so my name, right, it had my name, like Junior Bautista was on it. One kid came up to me and he's like, "Are you such a Bautista fan that you write your name everywhere like Bautista?" And I'm like, "No, dude, like that's just my
name,
last name." Like, what do you mean?
How dare you?
Did that story live up to the hype?
I should have been told at the beginning. That's all right.
Wow,
I'm just kidding.
That is rude.
I'm just kidding.
So, I was listening to the shout out the Lightcast because I listened to the podcast you were on with him, and you told a funny story, an encounter with you and Bautista. You guys wanted to go to the strip club or something like that, and it never panned out.
Yeah, that was after that SmackDown show. Yeah, so my buddy I was there with, he was there working as an extra that night, and he just comes up. He was a bouncer at Camelot in DC, and he comes up to me afterwards and he says, because Batista's from DC,
right?
So he says, yeah, Bautista came up to me and asked. I guess they had met at his club before or something. He's like, yeah, he wants us to come back to the strip club with him tonight. And one thing I didn't end up. We didn't end up going with him, but he was a big party guy, man. He probably still is, but yeah, he was.
Right, but imagine you one day just walk into a strip club, right? And you're like, hold up, is that?
Why is Drax here?
Is that Drax? No, you wouldn't see him. You wouldn't see him, right? You wouldn't see him.
He's moving so slowly.
That's what it is. He just stands still and he's just there at the strip club. He's like, yo, Dave, but I didn't see you there last night. Like, what happened? He's like, I was there. I was like, I was there, bro. But no, so I'm sure you heard of the going back to Army of the Dead real quick, of the whole Chris D'Elia thing that's been going on. Were you there on the same day, like the same set as he was? Oh yeah, you're right, because it was the last day.
Hold on, I might not have heard this one. Fill me in.
Oh.
Well,
so whoever has the better scoop, I think who can explain it better.
This came out like this early this week.
It was earlier in the week, yeah.
Like maybe last weekend or so. Basically, he has been accused of sexual like harassment.
Oh, he's caught up in all that.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he told me all that shit back when we were recording.
Chill. No, there's like a whole bunch of screenshots and stuff, basically just kind of.
So he's caught red-handed, man.
Yeah. In a sense, yeah. It doesn't look very good.
Nah, it does not look good for him right now.
It sucks a lot for him to be in that kind of predicament, but
he did it to himself.
Yeah, these are decisions man's makes on his own.
Reap what you sow, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
So that's what he was referring to with the news about Chris.
Well, no, the reason I bring it up is because it was so funny. You know, we had you both today, and like every little thing. The reason, because we had said, oh, do you think they're gonna have to do reshoots for this movie now, like to maybe like clean scenes out? But like, right, but it doesn't seem likely. Right, it's just like, especially with this whole coronavirus going on, like I highly doubt Netflix would be like, yeah, we have to redo, because he's probably in a lot of scenes, so they're not going to be like, we're going to have to redo half the movie.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure by now, you know, they're probably finished up with everything. I would expect, hopefully, a trailer comes soon. You know, it's been a while since we filmed. We finished in right around the beginning of October.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's been
a minute. Yeah,
damn.
Yeah,
I've been
absolutely.
keeping track of production because of Chris D'Elia, because I follow him or used to follow him in terms of what's been going on and all that. Speaking on the movie now, understanding the scale of the film. How was it that those 2 days on set that you said what was the shoot like? What was the energy like on set and all that? In terms of
that's a great question. Yeah, the first day. The only thing I can say about it, because of the whole NDA crap, is
right.
That
we don't want to get you in trouble. No spoilers.
Yeah, no, but I'm pretty good at dancing around stuff. I'm pretty good at pushing the envelope and dancing around stuff. No, the first day was the, obviously the final day is a huge important day to be there, but the first day, as far as scenes go in the movie, it's massive. Like, I was extremely humbled and honored to be a part of it, and it's going to be just freaking batshit crazy.
Wait.
That scene right there is going to be, people are going to be talking about it for a long time.
Oh man, you have set the bar, sir.
Oh yeah,
I know, right?
It's not going to disappoint. It won't. No questions asked.
Superman comes down. Superman has to come down from the sky and save everyone. That's what it's got to be.
Zach just ties it all together.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, boom, multiverse.
Multiverse.
He's like, DC, Army of the Dead, boom.
Yeah.
I was just telling them I need to rewatch like Dawn of the Dead, because at first I was like, is this
a sequel?
Is this a sequel? And like, because I'm like, the first one came out in 2004, so I'm like, is it? And then there was. So I was like, oh, cool. So I got
Wait, so it is a sequel?
Nah, I don't think it is. I'm not of the belief that it's you're talking about Army and Dawn.
Yeah.
I think Dawn's is just a standalone reboot of the original.
Oh.
This one's a whole new concept.
A whole new take. Okay.
It could be one of those quote unquote spiritual successors.
It could be. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, like it's gonna be, it's like one of the days it was either Zach himself or somebody that was around him when we were sitting in between takes. Somebody said, "Man, this is like you guys cuss on here?"
Yeah,
of course.
Let it fly, dude.
He said, "This is like a fucked up Lion King."
Jesus Christ.
That's what he called it. So.
Wow. That would have been a great movie title right there.
Right.
A fucked up Lion
Fucked
King.
up
No,
Lion
it was
King.
somebody else that said it. Somebody
Oh.
else went, "Man, this is like a fucked up Lion King," and then Zach turns around and goes, "Yep, you're right."
I love it.
That's great.
You know,
I
what,
love
that is probably the most vague statement I've heard about a film this year so far, in terms of describing it. Like, hey, sell the movie to me, man.
Right? Yeah, fucked up Lion King. What does that
Like,
mean?
but yeah,
When you
your
see
mind.
it, you'll know exactly what it means.
Yeah, that's definitely something exciting that
It's gonna be.
that's in the works.
When does
Are
it-
you working? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When does it come out again?
I don't
Or
think there's
is
a
there an
drop
They
release
date
haven't
yet.
announced a release date
Yeah.
yet.
Oh,
Or anything.
okay. I just tried slipping
I
them
thought
up.
it was
I'm gonna see if you knew it.
scheduled
Yeah, he tried to.
Trying to slip you out. I was trying to. When's the release date?
Yeah,
That was a good try, though. That was a good
I
it
tried,
was.
tried.
Yeah, I was almost. Wait a second. No, I really don't know.
I feel you.
I feel like that's the thing about films that are streamed, in a sense,
Yeah.
because they don't really have a set. They have a set schedule to shoot. I'm assuming, but the release
Yeah.
date could.
Be anywhere.
All over the
Anyway,
place,
yeah.
right? One day you'll just pop up and it'll say like the thing on Netflix will say, this coming
Right,
soon or coming this
yeah.
day or something like
I
that.
shot that 2 years ago.
It's like 2022.
Oh
We're still
my
in quarantine.
Well,
I hope
yeah.
not.
Dude,
hope
it's-
I really hope not. This is
We
not
just hit a
fun.
high today, and I'm just like, oh, great.
Oh,
In
did
New York?
Did I ruin the mood?
No, not in New York. I think
Florida?
Florida.
It
Probably.
was Florida, California, Texas. Those three are going back to
Phase 2.
stay at home. Go back to stay at home.
Man.
Scott, where are you located from? Is it bad there?
I'm in Maryland, man. We're actually like
Hey.
opening up like I work my day job's at a gym, so
nice.
we opened our fitness center on last Sunday. So
Sweet.
cases keep going down here, so
Oh, that's damn.
Yeah.
Good for y'all, man.
Yeah, shout out to the whole
man.
Move.
DMV area.
That's a move.
Shout out to Maryland. Like they over here, like,
ND.
oh, y'all can't lift yet? Well, I can't. I
Word.
can't relate.
He's gonna be the
Swell it
first
up,
jacked.
swell it.
He's gonna be the first jacked Riddler.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, you were talking earlier about nobody being able to stand toe to toe to Batman. I think
Uh-oh.
it'd be interesting to see
Oh,
the Riddler with
Actually, yeah.
jacked up and
Throw hands.
Affleck size.
that's what. Affleck's a big dude, man.
He is, man. He's. I mean, I've never
That
met
would-
him.
that would be
He's
pretty
like
interesting.
6'4", I think.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
6'4".
over 200 and something pounds.
200 something. Yeah.
That would be pretty good. That'd be pretty interesting.
That would
A
be
Riddler that can scrap.
you
That'd be
know,
pretty dope.
That's the
And
thing.
I've got the wrestling experience. The stunt
Exactly.
stuff
Exactly.
comes right along with
Yep.
it. So, yeah.
Exactly.
You heard it
You-
here first.
Yeah.
Heard it here first. Zach,
Yeah, Zach.
get to it.
Zach.
Take note.
But so Scott, like so like you said, you're basically willing, like they want you to, like, hey, we want you to act, we want you to do the stunts. You're willing to do everything
Yeah.
for this role.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do it all.
What if you do get a call up, right? What if you do get a call up, but they're like, hey, we liked you as the Riddler, but we want you to actually do this instead. Would you be open to something like that, or are you just simply focused on this character?
Oh, dude, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Yeah. I mean, anything.
Get me scared.
He's
Gotta
like, Riddler
call.
who?
Yeah,
who?
no. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the hope, but yeah, if they
Right.
called and wanted me to be a parademon, man, I'd be all over that.
Damn.
Somebody
Oh,
else
yeah.
made a suggestion of one of the new gods, so
Damn.
That could be a good spot too, because
Right.
That's still in production too. So
yeah, it is, and I think that would be like New Gods are like it's such an untapped, like unknown really to like the majority of people. Where
Yeah.
it's like you can. I think that's actually probably a great fucking choice, to be honest. I mean, if you don't get Riddler, obviously, but like
yeah.
Just pointing out, we still want you as Riddler.
we still want you as Riddler.
is it
Yeah.
safe
But-
to say that Scott is the #1 draft pick for Riddler?
He might be.
Yes.
He might
I'm
be.
trying, man. See, I don't know if I said this on Lakecast, but and that's what I keep saying about this whole thing, man. One of the uncanny abilities that I have is when I set my mind to something, I'm extremely disciplined, and I just go pedal to the metal, man. I go ball.
So he's
And
gonna
I
go
wouldn't be
back.
doing all this if I didn't think there was a legitimate shot of it
Yeah,
being a
of
reality.
course. Absolutely. Have you been doing your homework, man? You reading some comics, all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I just I got the Hush comic.
Oh boy.
Mm.
So I'm gonna
So
read that. And
yeah, because I know we've had about what 3 or no 2 live action Riddlers. We're getting a third one now, right? Because we had the Adam West 1966 Riddler, and
I've
we
been patterning a lot
do
of the
from
stuff I
Gotham.
do off him actually. Frank
Oh
Gorshin.
yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
taking some good inspiration from that.
interesting.
I haven't seen the Adam West Batman, in, dude. I a very long time.
Ages.
Like,
Yeah, the girl I was talking about, that I was dating, I was telling her about it. She was like, "Oh, I used to watch the '60s Batman stuff all the time."
so you're
You're
like,
like,
so
yes.
what'd you think of Riddler? Do you
Think of
think?
old Frank Gorshin. And she gave me the same thing everybody else was like, "Oh yeah, I can see it." I sent her the videos and everything. She's like, "I see it, I see it."
Well,
Nice.
actually, that might work as Hush because Hush in a certain storyline is low key the Riddler.
And
So
what's
I
the
didn't.
Yo, why'd you
what? Oh, I spoiled it.
you gotta not spoil it for people.
That's crazy. This guy doesn't watch trailers because he's afraid
Wow.
of getting spoiled, and he goes and
Wow,
spoils
Scott,
this.
we are so sorry.
Oh man, that's all right.
I'm
That's
going
cool.
League of
It's cool to
That
Shadows.
know
is
what's coming.
See
And
ya.
now Scott's gonna leave their podcast and be like, "Fuck these
No.
guys."
Scott, chill.
yo.
Scott
Be
for
like,
Riddler
these dudes
2020.
just ruined.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You might be in his good graces, but you're not in ours. That is so
That's
disrespectful.
foul. That's
Come
God,
so
the
on.
reason
foul.
why
Especially,
we're
I'm
actually
throwing the
the
idea
reason
out
why we're
there,
actually
Zach.
the reason we're actually so pissed about that is because he doesn't watch trailers because of spoilers. So for him to
And
be the
then
one
drop
to
one.
spoil,
and drops one like that. That's crazy.
dude.
I have my reasons.
All
I
right.
was, I
I
was
guess
just trying to.
we'll find out
just
later.
trying to plant some seeds for Zach in terms of writing the script for Scott.
Hey man,
That's all.
I just noticed your Wolverine shirt too. That's one of my. He's probably number 2 or 3 for me.
Okay, he's back.
Nice.
He's back.
Logan is my, I think, my second favorite movie ever. Logan is good.
What's your first?
Dark Knight, man.
Ooh, great choice.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Cultured man.
Wait, but
Cultured.
so Scott, were you into comics like ever since you were a kid, or was there a certain point where it started to grow on you?
No, I was. Yeah, I was definitely into him as a kid, and I watched the Batman animated series and all the Tim Burton movies and all that
Right.
growing up. Not to give away my age too much, but
25, right? Something like
yeah, buddy.
25.
There you go. So yeah, no, I was as big of that as I was a Hulk Hogan fan in wrestling. So
Oh, nice.
they kind of go together. Like I was a Hulkamaniac, big into WWF wrestling. You know, I cried when Hulk Hogan didn't win the WrestleMania 4 tournament, all that stuff. And as much as that, I was into Batman. So that's why, you know, I had the WWE dream and I did that. So now I've got this other one over here. So
Nice.
time
Yeah.
to go, man. It's go time.
Well, it's
Yeah.
great that you have these set goals in mind because you already conquered WWE. Now you want to try to cross over like certain people have, because there is a I feel like there is a place for everyone in the industry, especially in
Yeah,
Hollywood. Since you did
absolutely.
entertainment, since you did live entertainment in a sense, you can do scripted entertainment, which is all
That's
one and the
why
same, like you mentioned earlier.
I have to giggle and just kind of like blow off any of the hate comments that I see on Twitter about the stuff, because it's like you can't really sit here and say that it's never going to happen, because in entertainment anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name me one person who's like, when Rock was wrestling, you're like, oh yeah, you know what? One day that guy's gonna be Black Adam.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Like, come on, it's
And on
bullshit.
top of that, all the backlash that a wrestler did get for crossing over, for attempting to cross over, for attempting to branch out and do
Yeah.
something else. Because what I like that
Good.
what Scott said there is that it's clear that you're not trying to be boxed in to a certain role or
Nope.
anything. You really want to put yourself out there and try to be as versatile as you can, especially as an actor.
Did
Yeah, man.
you ever watch Gotham, like the Riddler on Gotham?
I did. Yeah, I thought
What?
Corey Michael.
Yeah, Corey Mike. I think it's Corey Michael Smith or
Yeah,
something like that.
I thought he was
phenomenal.
he was phenomenal.
I liked him. I liked him as Riddler too. I think I definitely am excited. I want to see I want to see this. I want to see this move and grow for sure.
It's if it's
Good one coming either tomorrow or Friday.
Wait, what?
I've
What'd you
got a
say?
good Riddler video coming tomorrow or Friday that's set in a little different location. I kind of tried to get the Gotham vibes going.
you got any of those Riddler videos?
Got a little
I
alley
can't
action
wait.
going on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to crack the riddle in like an hour.
I'm trying to remember what this one was. This one was, if you couldn't get the right hand, left hand on it, you'll have a pretty hard time with this.
Oh, he
It's
just said
pretty
we're
bad.
stupid. He's like, yo, you
No,
dumbass.
no. That's hard. Who would think about that? I can't hold it in my left hand, but I can hold it here. Who would think? Nope, I can't hold my left hand on it. No,
I know. I'm just thinking of objects. The first thing that came was just objects. I'm like,
Right.
oh, that makes sense.
that's
And
where
I was
your
like,
head
this-
goes,
like,
right?
right.
Yeah.
But Scott's like, oh, none of these guys would be good Batmans for Gotham. Like,
Man, somebody put
can't
up
even crack that riddle.
somebody put up a riddle tagged me in it on Twitter yesterday or the day before. It was a good one, man. Something like if you go into a warehouse and there's a guy hanging from the rafters, but no ladders, no stairs, nothing. He's just hanging there, and there's a puddle of water on the floor. How did he hang himself?
Mm.
I
So-
actually had to
Source
Did
of
it something to do with ice?
man, you got it quicker than I did. Yeah.
Yeah,
The block of ice.
it's
Block of
actually-
ice, and it melted.
it's actually funny because
Damn.
I was just watching The Office, and Dwight actually says that riddle.
For
it was
real?
rich. So
Yeah.
that bug didn't come up with that, did he? He stole it from the office and tried to get me on.
Yeah,
All right.
You got to go back and tweet at him.
If you're watching, dude, I'm on to you.
Dwight Schrute says something similar to that. Like he starts off the riddle like you walk into a room and a man is found hanging, and then the guy
that's right.
and then Ryan answers the riddle before he even finishes it because he's already heard it before.
He gets tight.
And he gets tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
why
this
you
dude
can't
thought he
steal
was
riddles.
slick.
You can't steal riddles from time shows like that.
I'm
You have
on
to
to
watch-
you. I'm on to you. Come on.
you have to watch smaller shows so no one knows.
Yes. Or take riddles from other different and mesh them together and make like another riddle.
And
Don't
then
directly from
then
a freaking mega TV show.
but then the riddle doesn't start to make sense anymore. It's like they took it from too many different things.
That's
It's
true.
like,
Yeah.
it's like
The most
uh,
convoluted riddle ever.
Yeah.
Touche. Yeah.
they don't even know the riddle. They're just like I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, it's a riddle.
There has to be some sort of answer.
Right.
I know. Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. All
We're
right,
back.
and we're back. Oh wait, Scott, I have one more question about Army of the Dead before we get into DC news.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like Zach's whole like films earlier, and we were saying how most of them have a deeper meaning. Is there any deeper meaning in Army of the Dead, or just like nope,
Zombies,
just
zombies,
a
zombies.
loose cannon, or a little bit of both, or a little bit of both?
I want to say, based on everything I know and saw, there probably is. And that
told you,
could be
Ariel.
where that whole fucked up Lion King thing comes in. But
Mm.
overall, it's going to be, it's just, you can tell easily that he has the handcuffs off of him completely. For this.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's what I love about Netflix, or at least what they've been doing with certain directors, especially Martin Scorsese with The Irishman. They just let him cook. They said, "Listen,
Here's your budget. Go at it."
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, Martin, how long do you want the movie to be? He's like, yes.
I'll figure it out.
He's like, yes.
That's a good-
I'll tell you in post production. Don't worry.
Right.
When it's released, I'll let you know, and then you could just give the runtime after.
Yeah.
You guys hit
Yeah.
upload, you'll see.
Yeah, no,
But
oh wait, I have to ask this too. BVS, what do you think about it?
Oh, I love it, man. That's probably my favorite Snyder film so far. Yeah.
We love to
Scott,
hear it. We love to hear it.
Congratulations, Scott. You will be another, like, whenever you want, you could come back on. Because if the answer was no, we would just end it
Cut the
here
thing
right
off right here. Yeah, no, I remember
Scott, I'm
watching
afraid
it in
we're
the
out of
theater,
time.
man.
Yep. Hell yeah.
I hadn't even thought about starting acting yet, and I was out of wrestling, and I was just, watching movies.
Uh-huh.
I went and saw it as a Batman fan. I went in there.
There was a little question mark on one of the scenes.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Riddler question mark.
Yeah, it's graffiti in the background
graffiti,
during
right.
the warehouse fight between
in the warehouse fight.
Clark.
Yeah. So you know he exists.
He's
Exactly.
there. Yeah,
He's there.
He's there.
You're there.
You're there. Yeah.
Right. I still have the can of spray paint in the,
In the
hanging out over
back.
You
here
heard
in
it
the
here
closet.
first, guys. You heard it here first.
So I mean, dude, DC right now, like I know they have a plan, and I know everyone is just so curious to find out what that plan is, because like the
They really have
Keaton
to.
news,
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
was like, what? I was like that, and think about it. He is going to be seen everywhere. DC, Marvel Studios, Sony. He's just involved in like all. He's like, I'm just going to take over the comic book genre right now.
Right.
That's what I'm.
Let me get a slice
what-
of all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you think of Batman and Batman Returns though? Did you enjoy those? How do you guys feel about it? Because I feel like if we go back and watch it today, will it be the same?
Yeah, did it age well in a sense?
The Tim Burton movies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think the first two. Yeah, I think I could watch them. I think the replay value on those is phenomenal.
I think
I
so
think
too.
Keaton was a great Batman. Danny DeVito did great as Penguin. What's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer
Michelle Pfeiffer, yes, sir.
crushed it. Yeah, and Jack Nicholson obviously was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I still use a lot of my kid runs around the house all the time saying, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
I say that when I play COD.
Yeah.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, and I
that the Batman, at least Tim Burton's the first one from '89, it really captures that essence of the time that it's in. We were actually talking about this in the last podcast about how Joel Schumacher's Batman captured the essence of the '90s whimsical Batman.
That's a good point. Yeah, it did. Yeah, right. Because they had
Yes.
wasn't Prince? Prince was in, or his music was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't one of them.
I think the first one, because I think they went to that nightclub.
Yep.
And you guys probably talked about it. Sorry, every time I myself out, my girlfriend's just like getting things here and there. So
right on.
You guys probably talked about it. What did you think of Jim Carrey's portrayal? Did you enjoy that?
The Riddler.
No, we didn't speak about this yet.
I like Jim Carrey as an actor, but
right.
I don't know, that Riddler was just a little too over the top for me.
Right.
As far as my taste.
Yo, my favorite was when Batman did the riddle to him, and he's like, "Oh, Batman, that's too easy. It's like you're as blind as a bat." And then Val Kilmer was like, "Exactly." And then he just like throws the batarang. And, like, I'm just like, oh my god.
Now he did have some good lines in that. Like the one of the first videos I did, I think I used that was like stealing lines at that point. I think I said, "Who's afraid? Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?" That
right.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that movie had that Prince vibe. I remember that scene because that was actually a really cool scene because it really like showed like he calls up Alfred. He's like, "Hey, I need my suit," and Alfred just pulls up in the whip and he just lifts it. And I'm like,
"Oh
dope.
yeah,
that's dope." Shit's about to go down.
Yep. Also, really inconvenient during traffic.
Super.
Yeah, they were having a parade or something.
Alfred,
right?
where are you?
All the floats.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the and I consider this a Christmas movie. That's Batman Returns.
Batman Returns
and Catwoman.
Christmas movie, dude. So
it's a Christmas movie.
Are you gonna say the same about Die Hard?
Oh, we could get in. We'll get into that another time. But yes, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie.
What's the consensus? I think it is. I was having that conversation the other day. That's weird. You bring that up in this. Yeah, 'cause my kid loves the Die Hard movies. He was like, He was picking something out because that's what we do, man. We watch movies. So
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Great.
I had Die
And,
Hards on here.
and your kids know about your campaign, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like,
They were in the one video I put up on Father's Day on Twitter.
right. So
Oh,
so
shit.
it's like that's awesome, dude. Like they're like,
They're
That's
loving it,
important.
man. Yeah, they think it's the
Awesome.
coolest thing ever.
so it's like you got to tell them like, yo, like I know like I'm going up against Batman, but it's like you still got to root for me regardless.
Yeah.
Got
I
to.
don't care if I'm gonna kill the whole city. You are
Yeah.
gonna be right there with me.
You'll be like,
Billy's
yeah,
daddy's gonna
we
test the
did that.
morals.
My
He's gonna-
oldest, my 10-year-old man, he's into all the horror stuff. He'd root for me anyway. He loves the villains, man.
Love
yeah,
it.
I mean that's our name.
That's our name.
I
Gimmick.
know.
So it's
That's
like
what I
we
said.
do too. You
That's it. I'm
chilling,
chilling
right?
with the
Chilling,
villains, man.
exactly.
Chilling with the villains. That is a
But
great name for a podcast, man.
oh,
Good stuff.
shit, that man, yeah.
Excellent.
Because it's like it's something so special, like, and I think I think that's the thing that really drove me more towards DC than everything else. Like I'm talking everything else, like Marvel, Star Wars, just the villains, like the fact that several heroes, expansive rogues gallery that everybody knows just shows, like, goes to show you like how good villains are in the DC like comics.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, it's ridiculous. Batman's alone. It's like to me,
Nah, Batman's Rose Gallery.
His alone is like
It's
the
better than
cream of the crop,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
better than anyone's. Because dude, he has Joker. That's all you need to say.
That's all you need to
No,
say.
but at
And then,
least
like,
those three, at least the Joker, Riddler, and Penguin are like those big three. It's very
the
essential.
big
to,
three. I like that.
The
Yeah,
big
yeah.
three of
They are.
Batman's Rose Gallery.
the Heat, is the
The Heat.
Miami Heat, but
Well,
no,
since
because
they're the OG,
it's
that would be more like the Celtics. Big three.
Why?
if we want to start
Because-
getting technical,
that's fine,
we
that's
don't gotta
fine.
go that
Yeah,
route.
that's fine.
We gotta go that
We'll
route.
go down that one.
It's president of the Boston Celtics.
Hey,
Right,
man,
right.
I love Tom Hardy as Bane too in Dark Knight Rises. Man, I thought that was awesome.
I was just
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
that earlier.
Yeah, Tom
Oh,
Hardy's a
so-
fantastic actor. Phenomenal.
Scott, in the end of Dark Knight Rises, do you
Oh.
think that
Here it
Alfred
comes.
imagining? Yeah, he's like I was talking about this the other day too, with my buddies.
No, I wasn't talking about that, but yeah, that's the great question from the end of that one. No, I think he really does see them there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Ariel, did your vote change after watching it?
Well, the thing is that I like to sit and watch it. I don't like to watch it as I'm walking and stuff.
So you were walking. And
He didn't
stuff.
finish it.
No, I haven't finished it yet. I'm up to the part where Bane just breaks his back though.
Oh, okay.
During my
Yikes.
rewatch. So, man, Tom Hardy is one of the most menacing screen presence in terms of that villain role that he played.
Yeah, dude.
And to think that that Christopher Nolan made it work in terms of having his face covered half the time. Because I don't know if you guys have heard or seen the rough cut of his audio before it gets mixed and mastered and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty tough. They made it sound
Really good. Yeah.
way better, yeah. They made it sound
Really?
way better, yeah.
No,
The way
I
they
haven't
worked
seen that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, the way they worked that was they put a microphone inside of his mask, but then they obviously did some audio work to make it sound as natural as possible, especially considering it's supposed to be a practical mask for his role.
Right.
So in terms of practicality, do you have any idea, at least character-wise, for any kind of aesthetic that your Riddler or your rendition of the Riddler will have in a Snyderverse film?
Like anything
DC
unique that you would be like, oh, I want to do this with the
Because-
character.
That's a
Because
great
it's
question.
Yeah, because it's interesting to see how the Riddler can make something practical out of using a cane as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would be...
Well, right, like the cane pulls
Yeah.
out and there's a knife attached to it or
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to make him like, more ripped so you can actually fight.
That would be one thing. Yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
The things I've been using to describe the videos and the tone of everything has been what was it? Arrogant, intellectual, sinister, and epic. So
Okay.
that's the 4 words I've been using to
All right.
describe the tone.
Yeah, I
He
think.
already has this laid out.
Have you seen the show Mindhunter?
I haven't. I've heard of it. But
It's on
that's,
Netflix, and like I think like maybe like because like obviously Edward Nygma is a fucking psychopath. I think
yeah.
I think it could
Without saying.
help with like not all of the serial killers they talk to, but like some of them they like it's basically just about like the birth of criminal psychology and like and
Yep.
they go around they interview serial killers and stuff like that. And
Interesting.
I
Okay.
think it can maybe help with maybe draw some kind of inspiration if I
Right on.
can make one suggestion.
Hey man, yeah, throw it all. Keep it coming. Yeah.
That would be dope.
Scott's like, no, I don't want any suggestions from you.
Especially you.
That would be dope to have this sort of Jigsaw meets Batman kind of style of Riddler, because his traps are very intricate, considering all the times that I died playing Arkham City.
What was the best Batman game? What do you think out of the whole series of that the Arkham
Knight.
series?
I'm gonna have to go Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Knight. Okay.
I go Arkham Knight. Arkham City was phenomenal though. I fucking loved it.
Did no one like Origins?
I liked Origins.
It was cool. It was cool. It didn't have that.
Yeah, it was missing. It felt like it was missing.
It was
something.
cool.
It felt like it was missing.
Cool.
Something to me. What about you, Scott? Do you
It
have a
was a
favorite
different
one?
developer. It was a different developer that made
Right,
it.
exactly.
It wasn't Rocksteady directly who made it. But
Yeah, I think the best game was probably City, but the as far as I spent the most time playing and finished Asylum. So
Asylum.
I got
Asylum was
into that
great
one.
too. Yeah, Asylum was like groundbreaking. It was like
Asylum changed the game.
did.
absolutely.
In terms of story based
The-
gameplay.
I think those games have the best fight mechanics out of any game ever.
Yeah.
Like
It was
hand to
seamless,
hand. I
man.
mean, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
for sure.
it's so fun, and you can change it up. Like as the games further like go further, you can win fights in so many ways. It's like it's so interesting, like to just even just go around and like just try to like do different things, like jump off a wall and then like deck
Throw a
somebody.
batarang.
Like throw a
Right.
batarang.
Freeze
like
them. all in one
Yeah.
button press.
And that's why that warehouse scene in BVS is so just like it's like you feel like you're watching
Yeah.
yourself play Arkham. You're
Did
just like,
you see the edit
he's
that
doing-
somebody made? They had the combo marker on top of his head.
because it's like I was like, wow, like this is phenomenal. Like,
literally,
what the
yeah.
hell?
Video game podcast coming soon.
Yep.
Video game
Yeah.
podcast coming soon. Scott, we've been saying that for like I think a year, like about a video game
Yeah.
podcast.
We've been
and we
talking
still
about
have
Video
not
game
dropped one.
podcast. Oh.
We
Yeah.
still have not dropped one.
You guys big gamers too? You do
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
love,
gaming.
I love it.
Me and Mark are, yeah, for sure.
I love it.
We're heavily invested.
I'm getting there. I'm getting
He's
to
getting
that
there.
level,
He just
sorta.
beat Spider-Man after it came out 2 years ago.
After
yesterday.
2 years.
Did you play Last of Us Part 2 yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes,
finished it. I
sir.
just finished it today.
What?
Or not today.
Damn,
The other
man,
day.
that thing just
Yesterday.
good.
I
Mark
just
takes
finished it
his stuff
yesterday.
very seriously.
I do. I wanted to finish this immediately because there was so much like controversy around it, and I was like, I gotta beat this to figure out what this shit is about.
Yeah.
Still don't see what it's about. So spoiler.
Yeah, so fixated.
Please.
Cool.
I'm like 2 hours into the game.
No, he's playing with his
Hopefully-
girlfriend. So he's gonna
Yeah,
finish it
'cause
next year.
My girl tags along to play too. She loots, I shoot. So
Ah, nice.
for lack of better term.
Loots I shoot.
Are you playing it right now?
No.
No. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Scott, Scott.
I love the first one though. Like, so.
Oh, first one's awesome.
It's a
So
movie.
good.
It's literally playing a movie. You're
Yes.
playing a movie.
Yep.
And
Great
Scott,
point.
in terms of these apocalyptic stories, I'm sure getting that role for Army of the Dead must have been cool because it's like, hey, kind of played it and I get to live it in a sense.
It was, yeah, and it wasn't like the first day I was there. It was a very small group. Like I thought, like it's a zombie. I'm gonna be in this big horde of just like
Yeah.
a bunch of zombies, but like it was a very small group. There was only about 20 of us there the first
Wow.
day. So and apparently, like it was a hand selected group. So like obviously Zach went through specifically and picked based on the look he wanted for that.
Oh,
So
meticulous Zach, for sure.
yeah.
Super
Yeah, so that was-
meticulous.
really cool part of that. Yeah, so
Now,
wasn't a big horde of zombies, man. It was a small, tight knit group.
so is it safe to say that, without giving spoilers away, of course, is it safe to say that these zombies are the same as if you could compare them to the runners in The Last of Us? Just the standard run-of-the-mill cordyceps infected zombies? Not cordyceps infected specifically, but more of just the kind of World War Z kind of just crazed running and stuff, or are they more of a slower zombie?
Well, yeah, that would kind of probably breach a little bit.
Oh shit!
Never mind. I'll use the word unique. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
There's a unique.
I'll take it. You heard it here first, guys.
Unique.
Yeah.
It's unique.
It's unique.
It's like that. That's the headline tomorrow. It's like breaking news on Army of the Dead. It's unique. You heard it here first.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's a Zack Snyder film. A Zack Snyder film is unique. Wow.
I know. Hey, breaking news.
Wet.
Breaking news. Water's wet.
Water wet.
Oh my god, that is too funny. But
I think you'll see things out of that you've never seen before. So
okay.
See, and referring to horror films, that is what I'm looking forward to. Innovation, some sort of fresh take on things. Because my gripe with horror films is that over the years they've been more for thrill than for
story.
So yeah. Jump scares, man.
Jump scares.
All about the jump scare.
You can almost call them out. It's almost like the third base coach is like saying everything out during the scene, and you're just like, oh, I get it. I know exactly what's gonna happen. She's gonna jump.
Right.
There's gonna be a raccoon walking by.
Yeah.
So what is, in terms of horror, is there any film that stands out that's like, yo, that's that shit, scared the fuck out of me?
And the story was actually also good.
You could be biased too.
Yeah, you can say this movie.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, for some reason,
I was scared myself.
For some reason, just thinking about it, when you were talking about it, the first movie that popped in my head was like The Conjuring.
Yo, same exact thing for me. I was like, yo, that never again type shit.
James Wan is
like, I'm never watching that again.
James
Wan
knows how to make you uncomfortable in your seat and constantly ask yourself, what the
That's the best kind of horror, right?
Yeah, 100%. Dude,
it's just being constantly uncomfortable. That's
unnerved.
That's what you want.
James Wan would be great in directing a Riddler movie.
Ooh, hot take.
Just putting that out into universe.
There he goes. There it is, man. Well, James.
Because James Wan did the first Saw.
Yeah. So you're really fixated on this Saw Riddler kind of character.
That would be so fascinating. Yeah.
Did you see the video where it used the Saw riff from it that I did?
I didn't see that video.
No, talking about playing a game, playing the game.
Oh, okay. I remember it. You just completely change it. You're like not even Riddler anymore. You're actually Saw. You're like,
yeah.
You want to play a game? It's like
little dude with the tricycle. Rolling out with a question mark on his head.
Yeah, just a mix. Like, yo, you never seen this Riddler before.
Yeah, right. So it's like, but that horror approach. That's what I think that at least the Batman films haven't reached yet.
Yeah,
they could do a hell of a Riddler movie just like that too.
Yep.
Just an unnerving, unsettling pace and
So
we got that with Scarecrow and Batman.
Honestly, let's just write this right now. Hold on.
Yeah, let's go right.
Let's write the script.
Writer's room. Here we go.
So here's the thing with that as well. And touching back on the DC multiverse and everything that they're doing, right? They just had a whole movie about the Joker, right?
Right.
And it wasn't
phenomenal.
Wasn't comic accurate. And obviously who cares, because made a billy, critics loved it, fans loved it. So again, like, they could continue to just make these movies about villains, and people, at least obviously the Joker is the most popular villain out there for the part, but that's not to say people won't go for a Riddler origin story, a thriller horror kind of thing. Yeah, comic fans would definitely be down. They'll be like, fuck it, why not?
I think you need to be very selective with the villains you pick. You can't have it's like it. Yeah, a Calendar Man movie or like a.
Shout out Kite Man. I like Kite Man in the Harley Quinn show, but I'm not I'm not watching a Kite Man live action movie. I'm really not.
Right.
Yeah, like a Riddler one, I would be so down for
Yeah,
because
Riddler, Mr. Freeze, Penguin,
like
I'm down for
Mr.
that.
Freeze, that would be a good one
Right.
too.
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And it's I'm sorry. What?
Time out.
Yeah. Sorry. My
Coach,
parents.
bring
My
him
parents.
out.
We're
Bring him
good.
out, Coach.
We're good. We're good. But yeah, I
Wow.
think it'd be phenomenal to have that have a Riddler centric movie. I think that would take a lot of people off guard and kind of introduce them to the character in a way that they'd never been introduced to it because he has a lot of substance.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you know, obviously.
Dig deep, man. You can dig
Yeah.
deep on that one.
Absolutely.
A theory I heard about Batman is that all of his villains are just like fragments of his broken mind, like of how broken his mind is from his parents dying.
Yeah.
So that is something super, super deep that I didn't really think about in a sense, because in a sense, I guess Joker is more of the chaotic side of how his mind is broken. Then the
Well,
Riddler
not
could
only
be-
that, dude. Like the
Yeah.
joke, like you're just one bad day away from being me. So it's like Riddler's Joker's the exact 180 of Batman. You know, Batman's crazy. I don't care what anybody says. Like the dude dresses around in a bat suit, like and
he
fights
clearly has
criminals.
problems.
So he right, right. Christian Bale, yeah, guy, really not all right. And you know, so he went one route, and the Joker also had one bad day, but went a completely different route. You know, they both are on two ends of the spectrum. And but then again, the Riddler, how we discussed earlier, like he's that part of Bruce's brain which, you know, plays games and makes the mind work. Because obviously Bruce is also a genius. Although that is a deep and meaningful take, I don't think that's the case.
No,
I think that is
it is a great story.
right, but it is fun. It's fun to think about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one, Mr. Freeze, like Batman never has, you know, his wife with him. Like he's never with her.
Yeah,
So that's another one to
Right.
point out.
yeah, that's
So
great. That's another great story.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you know, you heard it here first. Riddler solo movie coming soon, directed by James Wan, starring Scott Fowler.
Written by
I'd call it
me, Mark.
written by us.
Yeah. I'd call
James
it
Wan's gonna look at
Nigma.
that script and like
Enigma.
Enigma.
I'd call the movie Nigma.
Nice.
I think.
Oh, so when we were DMing on Twitter, you had said you like it that specific way though, with the NIGMA instead of the Y.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, and then I was kind of annoyed about it because I'm kind of a little bit of a perfectionist. So I was like,
Right.
I want to keep everything. I want to keep the continuity straight on everything.
100%.
And the last video had Nigma spelled with a Y. I was like, I'm not gonna go back and nitpick it now.
He's like, I'm gonna change.
Multiverse.
But
Multiverse.
when I was searching for, when I was looking for stuff and looking everything up, it says that his actual real name's Nigma with an I. Like, and if you look at the picture that I have, where I'm holding up the like the mugshot,
Right. Yeah.
his real name would be, Nigma part. So I'd keep that. I'd keep it like that with the I, and then yeah, I kind of like Nashton too, though.
That's the one they're using for the Reeves one, right?
Are they? They're using Nashton.
They're not using
Edward
Nigma.
Nashton, yeah, Paul
That's
Dano,
what they're
I think
using.
I think that's what.
Because I remember I remember people were like, he got cast as the Riddler, and people were like, no, he got cast as Edward Nashton.
Like, oh, who's that? Oh, okay.
And like all the comic geniuses were like, oh my god.
They might pull out Iron Man 3, and maybe Scott is just duping us, and he's really gonna show up in the Batman from Matt Reeves. You heard that here first, then.
Isn't that the beautiful thing about all this stuff? You just never know, man. The mystery is one of the best parts. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Because I wouldn't be able to tell you even if I was or I wasn't.
Right.
So he's
I'm
Riddler
actually
confirmed.
on set right now.
He's Riddler confirmed. He's in his trailer right now.
But voice, Scott, I just saw your tweet, or I didn't just see it, but I saw it earlier, that you picked up a voiceover audition. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's for it's gonna be a Netflix animated series.
Nice.
Is there anything that you can disclose without breaching your NDA?
Hey man,
Absolutely not.
no, this one's not an NDA. It's filming up in New York too. So I'll be up in your guys' neck of the woods if I get the
Oh,
role.
nice.
Nice, man.
Playing one of the characters' dads, so it's got kind of an Owen Wilson-ish vibe
Wow.
to the voice.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, you do have a distinct voice, so it's like it makes sense.
Yeah,
Any
absolutely.
details when that's dropping?
Is that when it's well, this was for I think the sixth episode of it. So they're filming the whole
The whole
the
thing
whole
now.
series, I guess, for it.
Okay.
So it's an untitled thing right now. So
Mm.
He's great.
Pipeline Studios
Oh
is the one
man.
making it.
Yeah, so I mean, whenever it, because I know whenever it drops, I'm just gonna be like, and then you got to tell us like, oh, this was the one. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
man.
have no
Well,
idea.
if I come up to New York to do the filming, I'll hit you guys up, do a live show with y'all, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
exactly what we're.
Sounds good.
Why not? Of
Sounds
course.
great.
We can actually use our soundboard and we can actually all hear it.
There you go.
but when you come up, is that still going according to schedule, considering the whole pandemic thing going on?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have. Well, the sets are all doing. They're doing all the restricted stuff and everything. But yeah, it's I forget where they said it was going to be. I want to say Brooklyn, maybe. Is where the filming?
Okay,
But it
that's
still
not that
has
far
a
from
to
us.
be announced shoot date. So
Right.
Very cool.
callbacks are
dude,
tomorrow.
like,
Oh man, hey,
oh, nice.
good luck, brother.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man.
Yeah.
This is all part
wishing
of
you
the
the
plan.
best.
This
It's
is all
Oh, yeah.
part
all
of the plan.
exactly, man. Like we talked about earlier, dude. Like you were talking about earlier with the whole wrestling thing. It's like, yeah, dude, you left that for a reason. Like you're on to these other things, and sometimes it's a real slow grind. Like same with us with this podcast, man. Like we,
Yeah, we're on episode 67 now.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
this is
and
episode
we just starting, being able to interact with like people like you, for example. Have really cool guests on. So sometimes sometimes you get it like this one video, one something, and it just explodes. It's like, oh, you're famous now.
That's not everyone.
That's.
But and for some of us, it's just a slower burn, but it eventually, we'll get there.
Keep pushing, man.
We are
Yes, sir.
non-GMO creatives.
This is all organic, man.
All organic.
Organic, but you just keep stuff fresh and keep. Do you have any other people coming up, lined up to come on the show or anything that you're talking to?
Well, Scott.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Dwayne Johnson. Sorry, I should
No, we're not.
specify. Imagine.
Does that ring a bell?
His people called your people.
Yeah,
we
he's
didn't know.
been calling us for a while.
I
We're
know.
like,
Oh, we didn't know it's his people at first. We're like, oh, who? Oh, The Rock. Why didn't you just say that?
Guy.
Yeah.
that guy from the thing.
No, but no, yeah, we had a couple of big Instagram pages, and also people involved with the Snyder Cut movement. We do have a couple people lined up to a couple other pages. We had an actor, Steve Kassan, mad cool guy too. He's worked on a couple projects. The funny thing is,
I'm about to say, yeah.
The funny thing is, he's working on a show right now. I don't know if you've heard of it. The Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah. He commented on a couple of the videos I put up.
You guys interact.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boom.
He's a huge advocate. He's a huge advocate. Yeah. There you go. Multiverse, baby. All coming together.
He was in Dark Side of the Ring, right? Didn't he do some work on it?
He's second billing on that, actually. He's
right.
in there quite often, actually. I think he's in like 6 episodes of it.
And I think for like wrestling fans, the way he was describing it, and when I watched the trailer, I'm like, I'm in this. Like that looks dope.
Yeah, they got renewed for season 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think all the episodes are on YouTube, and I think you also find them on Viceland.
Yeah.
There's some shitty stuff that happened in professional wrestling, man.
Absolutely.
And there are a lot of dark stories to tell.
And that's what
Do you have any inside scoops for us, Scott?
Well, me myself, man, I was it's like a rock star lifestyle, man. I was on the road all the time, drinking, partying, and screwing my brains out. maybe not. I'll not confirm or deny.
Oh, you can't disclose
Yeah,
that.
you can
NDA.
disclose that. NDA on that.
Right? Yeah,
NDA on
NDA
that.
on that one.
But in terms of I guess a memorable experience that you had in the ring, at least. What is like your favorite match or favorite moment that you shared with a coworker or anything like that?
Oh, that definitely would have been either the first match I had with WWE, which that one's on you. I think I posted that one on my
I watched it.
Yeah.
The 6-man tag.
So I saw right. Oh, I saw the other one where you jumped up,
dude.
where you jumped up and you stayed in position when you turned around, dude.
Yeah, dude, Flash. Man, his gimmick is funny, dude. He's a New York guy. He's Big Vito is his
yeah. I remember.
He did. The toughest man to ever wear a dress was his gimmick.
See, that's the thing about wrestling too. Everybody has like the thing.
The gimmick,
man.
Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't yours the solution or something like that?
It was, yeah. And one of the biggest issues I had in wrestling was I never knew what that was.
And
like,
now you're the question.
Yeah, right.
Now you're
the
the
solution.
question.
Now I'm the question. Right.
Deep,
I went backwards.
I didn't even put that together. You got that, man. You got that. I have to use that one. Yep, that
was really deep. Holy damn! That was.
He's like, I went backwards.
Questions. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I hadn't put that together yet.
You had me in both.
Yo, imagine. Yo, I'm not saying we all do this, but if we were all fried, that would have been like, whoa.
Right.
You're all fried.
But we're not, and that was still like, whoa.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Mind blowing.
We out here.
He said, I'm having a Heineken.
I'm having a smart water.
Do you still listen to your entrance music? Like from every now and then?
I do, man. One of my gimmicks one of my things I used to say is I had the best entrance music in the business. I always used to say that. Man. Like I'd have all this weird
I'm talking about.
all stuff, and I used one of them was DMX. Get it on the floor, like instrumentals and stuff.
Yeah,
awesome.
It would get me and the whole crowd like pumped up heading to the ring, man. It was
How is that, dude? Your adrenaline's probably
that.
Like rushing,
I do miss the rush. Yeah, I miss the rush from that. That was like a drug of its own, man.
That must have been really exhilarating.
Like you ever get Ric Flair slapped on the chest and the crowd's like, woo!
Oh yeah. There's nothing fake about that, man. You come out with your chest looking like you were like hamburger meat.
I remember.
All beat the shit. So, yeah.
Nah, the reason so my favorite wrestler of all time is John Cena.
Super nice guy, by the way.
That's all I've ever heard about him. And I mean, we could what's with all these wrestlers and not being able to be seen? You can't see John Cena, but he is invisible in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like what is going on? Like, so perfect. I'm gonna pitch it. Invisible Riddler. That is the pitch for the movie.
You heard it here first, guys.
Well, what if the Riddler, in the whole movie is behind the scenes, man? You never see him at all. It's just voices like the Arkham games.
Dude, that's another aspect of horror movies that I love when they don't show the monster or they don't show the entity that is terrorizing everyone.
It's just doing its thing, yeah.
Exactly. Like imagine if Halloween was just Michael Myers. You just see glimpses of the mask and the knife stabbing, but you don't really see.
Yeah.
Nope. You get him all like every scene, Michael Myers. It's like boom,
he
Mike.
gets the full hour and 40 minutes of screen time.
Boom, Mike. And then it's like Jamie Lee Curtis. Boom, Mike. That's how those movies go now.
The mask sells the tickets, man. Keep them on the screen.
That is true. And but like again, like we're making these pictures of like Riddler behind the scenes. But yeah, we definitely want to see up front, and because he again the all green, like he shines, he's there. So he takes the spotlight.
It's also long overdue.
We're
hitting over 20 years now, I guess, right? Since we've seen an iteration on the silver screen, at least
and the big screen, yeah, absolutely.
But,
it's long overdue,
right.
man.
So I know, I know you'll definitely be paying attention to Paul Dano and how he does. but no, kind of touching on what you were saying before, like, yeah, you're taking inspirations from, people here and there, but
Mhm.
of course, all that inspiration leads to you becoming your version. And I think that nowadays, and I think especially if Zach were to ever, do like, if he still is involved with Warner Brothers and it's like, hey, this is the Snyderverse, this is the guy, Scott Fowler, this is the guy I want in the DCEU as the Riddler, I'm sure they'll find a take for you that's, for that version. And because it clearly, like you said, the fans backed up Zach, the fans are backing you up. So when your version comes out, it's like they're gonna stick with that because not only is it like because they're loyal, it's because they're great takes on characters. And
Right.
that's what I like. I like new, fresh takes. And like you're saying before, yeah, like the goofy, trickster Riddler is nice and all, but how about one that goes deeper? One that's like, oh shit, like this dude is mind fucking me right now.
A bit more
Mhm.
serious, a bit more menacing, a bit more.
But right, that menace touch, but still with that like
Mm-hmm.
sarcastic, like, but he's still a threat. Not in the sense that you're just like, oh god, okay, like Batman's gonna get him in like a couple of minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
We don't need
So-
a
just
Riddler
treat it
that
as a
Batman can
villain.
just.
I think
smother in the
Corey.
face.
I think
Right.
Corey Michael Smith. I think that's his name from Gotham. I think he scratched the surface of
He
like.
did. His descent into madness was
Yeah.
fantastic, man. Like the way
Exactly.
they
That
built
was
the
awesome.
slow
The way
burn.
they wrote that, right?
Slow burn.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
And-
made me interested in the character. Like I'm there
Right.
to watch his scenes, because that show had so many villains. So you're like,
Mhm.
there's some of them you're just like, like what do I really care about this? What's going on right now? But his and like his interaction with Penguin, like that was something I always wanted to see like that, and it was perfect. And so,
Right.
so that's another question. So let's say they call you up. They're like, hey, we want you to be the villain, but there's going to be another select group of minor villains in this movie. Like, who would you select as like kind of your little posse going on?
Ooh, that's a
People
good
to
one,
work
man.
with.
People
Yeah,
to
who would your Riddler trust in
Who
the
are your
DCEU?
draft picks for your Riddler team? Yo.
That's a great freaking question, man. Um, I could see like maybe a female counterpart, like a Poison
I
Ivy
was
or something like that.
no, exactly. I was
Yeah.
like, if we go team green, we
Team
going green.
Green.
Yeah, and you're right, the green fits already. So yeah, there you
Exactly.
go.
Might as well throw Bane in there with the Venom.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that Riddler can literally, like, he should have been the ringleader of a majority of some of these stories.
No, that's perfect actually, because you got the Riddler, who's this kind of smaller, scrawnier guy. Then you got the muscle with Bane, and you got the female with Poison Ivy. That's a great
Yeah.
trio right there, man.
But now
The
in your
powerful
version,
trio.
you're gonna be jacked and Bane is gonna be
Right.
scrawny. Yeah.
Take
Well-
that venom off, man.
Exactly.
the funny thing is in the I don't know, Scott, do you watch that Harley Quinn series on DC Universe or no?
There's a Harley Quinn series on there. No, I
Yeah,
didn't know about that.
it's an animated
It's a-
series.
Well, like
Animated,
it's
yeah.
a
Kinda
it's a
pokes
it's a
fun at
parody,
Yeah.
right? It's more of a parody show, but the Riddler is in it. So if you do have it, I suggest watching it because, like, although it's not like a serious take on the character, like you
Yeah.
could probably still get some, and like the things we're talking about now, like with the whole lifting weights thing, it like kind of applies. So it's a funny moment.
It's
Oh, cool.
hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
I'll check it
hilarious
out.
show.
I feel like
Yeah,
It's rated R
definitely.
though, so
Not. I would suggest not with the kids.
not with the
Unless,
kids. Unless
you're cool. If you're
whatever
cool
you
with it,
do,
that's
whatever
fine.
you do.
That's rated R, huh?
viewer discretion
some-
is advised.
Yes.
Right.
Like,
No, but
they
also
show,
the
they show
thing-
everything and say everything.
Right. So with the character, The Rock said something that is probably one of the best pieces of advice he could give anybody, and that I could give anybody that I've heard anyway.
Mhm.
And have you seen Fighting with My Family? The movie about
That's something I want to see. That's something I want to check
you
out.
should. It's a
Oh.
good movie. Like it's about a
It's awesome.
WWE wrestler, Paige. But it's just a good
Yeah.
movie in general.
Mhm.
And
It's
The
based on a
Rock,
true
when
story.
she-
It's crazy.
yeah, it's a true story. Yep. So she's asking The Rock, like, do you have any advice for me? What would you tell me to do? He's in the movie as The Rock. he produced the movie or directed, one of the two,
Playing himself.
and he's in the movie as The Rock. So he's in the movie as The Rock,
Playing
and
himself.
he's in the movie as The Rock. So she's asking The Rock in the movie, like, what suggestions do you have? What advice do you have for me? And what can I do to be like you, Rock? And he says, don't be the first me, or don't be the next me, be the first you. So that's kind of, yeah, exactly. Like,
Come on,
it's,
man. That's free.
you don't want,
That's
yeah,
all
that's
free.
free there. Yeah.
That's all free.
That's
But
Don't
that's
worry.
the thing,
Don't
man.
try to be the next this person. Be the first you. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a part of
and
me
then
that, with this Riddler thing that I'm doing, that wants to bring what I want to do with it
Originality, yeah.
into what I think it looks like too. So
I mean,
that's
all the
something-
ideas we spoke about now, I think they're like phenomenal ideas. You know, I'm all for it.
there's some takeaways. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we campaign for often when we have like conversations in group chats about certain characters. We just want them to be genuinely good. Like, just make them compelling.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like we like. There's times where like comic accuracy is cool, like whatever. Like if you do it, cool, whatever. But I'm also gonna totally respect and be there for like people who do like not comic accurate stuff, like things like Joker, BVS. You know, where it's like it's not really comic accurate. It kind of takes characters and it kind of twists them and makes it more human, and like you relate to it more. And like Zack Snyder made Superman relatable. Like, come on, that's 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 like a thing that I didn't even think was possible before he even took it.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah.
so it's all about that kind of stuff, and
Also
like
the
I
first
fucking love
Superman
that shit.
without underwear on screen.
So Scott,
Both.
besides Zach, and I know we threw James Wan's name in there. Like, did you have a preferred like director you would love to work with on this specific character on your take of the Riddler? I know probably
Oh.
Zach would probably be number one, but
Oh, by
anybody
far,
else that
yeah,
you
by leaps and bounds, yeah. I mean, I think Christopher Nolan, like we were saying earlier, would have done an absolutely like
Phenomenal job.
mind blowing take on it too.
And we got
I remember back when Dark Knight Rises was coming out, or was getting ready to come out, and there was all the rumor mill was going. It was all about the Riddler, man. Everybody thought it was going to be the Riddler, it was gonna be the villain and everything, and they were talking about like what he would do with it. And it was like amazing. Like, if it would have ever come to
we'll never
pass,
know.
man.
But Scott, as we start wrapping up,
Yeah.
so you said we're doing the you're doing the that animated thing. What are you working on anything else
NDA
as well?
NDA.
That yeah, of course. Anything you
Yeah.
can
Don't get in trouble.
Well, I
You're
know,
working
no. With the business slowing down and everything, with all the COVID stuff, it has been a little
Right.
a little slower with that. But yeah, I did that animated audition was today, and I got a couple other auditions I got to turn out here in the next week or so. But I'm focusing a lot on this Riddler stuff, man. I've been cranking out 2-3 videos a week.
Yeah.
The campaign
Yeah.
continues.
Nah.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yo.
And there's a T-shirt. If you want to get a T-shirt, wear it on here, man.
Oh, yeah.
For
there's,
sure.
there's a hashtag shirt.
Plug everything in Instagram, Twitter. Tell the audience where we can find you.
Where we could get that shirt too.
Yeah. Also
Yeah,
where
all
we get the shirt.
my handles are the same everywhere. It's at Scott Fowler Acts. So like acting. So at
Gotcha.
Scott Fowler
Yeah.
Acts on Twitter, Instagram. Those I don't really use Facebook that much.
Who does?
And right, yeah. Like
But
that one's
for
hard to
whoever
get.
does, you can find him there.
Right. Yeah,
But,
I
so-
do have a page on there too, but and then
Yeah,
the,
man.
the shirts
How about
on
the shirts?
Ink to the People. It's on that one.
Ink
So
to
you
the
search
People.
for or you no, I
That
don't
sounds
think you
familiar.
search. They made the Snyder Cut shirts, I thought. Yeah, the Ink to the People page. Yeah.
Multiverse.
Yeah.
There's a
The-
connection,
and
but
it's inktothepeople.com/Fowler for Riddler, man. Fowler for Riddler.
yeah. I mean, dude, like when you feel discouraged, like I just want to let you know, like we got your back. And although it may seem like it's like maybe it never happen, like never get discouraged, because if you believe it and like I see that you really do, you're really like passionate about it, because
Yeah.
everyone has a passion, and then when you see feel when someone else is so passionate about something, and you have that same feeling of like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna root so hard for you because I want you to achieve this. So we really want you to achieve this.
Yeah, we are
Yes, sir.
So
officially
we are gonna do
that.
the best that we can.
we are officially endorsing you for the Riddler.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
Even when
that's,
Scott
I
Fowler
appreciate
won.
that. The
No,
enthusiasm's
other pick.
contagious, man. It's all around. It's
It
all
really
around that
is.
whole community thing,
Oh,
man.
absolutely. Especially right now too, because everything's picking up and everything's looking good. The Snyder Cut's coming out. They're
Yep.
talking about the Ayer Cut coming out. You
Mhm.
know, so it's all looking great. And like again, like Junior was saying, you know, we're rooting for you. You know, we're pulling for you. We hope that you get it, and
Awesome,
you know,
man.
more success to
Well,
come.
you guys will be the first to know. Like, you know, I'll be posting it. You know, as soon as I can post anything, and hopefully
What
it's
NDA?
sooner than later.
Exactly.
What ending?
What's that?
Man, but thanks a lot for coming on, man. I really
Yeah.
hope you you enjoyed just what you did. Time
Yeah, it was
freaking
fun chat.
flies when you're talking about
I know we got an
the,
hour and a half
the
in
Riddler.
already, man.
No, great.
Yeah,
You see, we tricked
What?
you. We
Yeah.
were like,
right.
oh, we'll just go for an hour.
Go for an hour.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
it
you
was
for
good
coming
chat,
on, man.
guys.
Yeah.
Well,
And you're always welcome to come back.
cool. Yeah. Keep in touch, and we'll set something else up. If I get that animated thing come up that way,
Yep,
serious, it's on, man. We'll do a
This
live
is
Yeah.
one.
great, man.
for
So we'll
sure.
do exactly. We'll do a live one. We'll grab some Buffalo Wild Wings. Like that's our thing.
Yeah, there
And
you
we'll
go.
have a good time.
Let's go.
Sweet.
All right, make sure to follow us at Chillin with Villains and at Scott Fowler Acts.
There it is.
Scott Fowler, 2020.
That's it.
The Riddler.
The Riddler.
Yeah. We're gonna mess up the campaign. They're like Scott Fowler.
Really,
I don't.
he's running for
I
president?
don't see him in the ballot.
Gotta say for Riddler. Gotta say that.
But all right, y'all.
We're off the air.
Peace.
All right, guys.